A coalition of 25 Republican lawmakers, spearheaded by Senator Ted Cruz from Texas and Representative Sam Graves from Missouri, is launching a coordinated effort to challenge the Biden administration's decision to prohibit the rail transportation of liquefied natural gas, LNG. Their response is triggered by the recent ruling from the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, PHMSA, on September 1. This ruling suspended a 2020 authorization that had permitted the transportation of LNG in rail tank cars. This suspension will remain in place until a permanent rule is proposed and finalized or until June 30, 2025, a process that could take several months. In an open letter directed at PHMSA's Deputy Administrator, Tristan Brown, and initially reported by Fox News, the group of Republican politicians asserts that PHMSA's main responsibility should be safety rather than environmental regulation. They emphasize the safety and reliability record of LNG rail transportation and cite PHMSA's data, which suggests that transporting hazardous materials by road poses greater risks to the general public. Lawmakers are also voicing concerns about the broader implications of this suspension, viewing it as part of the Biden administration's broader attack on domestic fossil fuel production. They argue that President Biden's specific targeting of the PHMSA's rule regarding LNG by rail through executive orders, in the name of addressing climate change, influenced the suspension of the rule. The lawmakers question the true temporary nature of the suspension, suspecting that it could lead to a permanent barrier to LNG rail transportation. They contend that this suspension contradicts the administration's goals of emissions reduction. The United States has made strides in lowering carbon emissions, largely due to its clean natural gas usage. Lawmakers believe that increasing the use of rail transportation for LNG would provide an environmentally friendly and cost-effective means to meet energy needs. PHMSA defends its suspension, stating that it aims to allow time for vital research on the safe transportation of cryogenic liquids like LNG by rail. This research is being conducted in collaboration with the National Academies of Sciences and Engineering and Canadian regulators and is expected to conclude within the next year. The findings will inform future federal safety regulations. However, not everyone is in agreement with the Republican lawmakers. Environmental groups, including the Sierra Club, Earth Justice, the Natural Resources Defense Council, and Food and Water Watch, oppose the move, claiming that transporting LNG by rail poses significant dangers. They argue that LNG is highly flammable and susceptible to destructive explosions that could put communities at risk. Democratic lawmakers, led by Representative Chrissy Houlihan from Pennsylvania, have also called for a permanent ban on LNG transportation by rail, citing safety concerns highlighted by environmental organizations. The Trump administration finalized a rule in June 2020 that permitted the rail shipment of LNG, a rule challenged in court by environmental groups. While the rule enjoyed support from Republicans and the rail industry, the recent suspension has cast doubt on its future.